It's been about 2 years since Costa Mesa officials charted a course for outsourcing jobs.
And after about 6 months reprieve, the debate is heating up once again over a new city charter plan. Reporter David Nazar has been following this story and joins us with the latest. David?
Yeah, that's right, Ed and Maria. 2 years of stalled labor talks, court battles, protests, and a failed city charter. Now the issue of outsourcing, layoffs, and pensions is taking center stage as the two sides battle it out. Voters said no to a ballot measure that would have turned Costa Mesa from a general law city to a charter city, making it easier to outsource traditional city jobs and services. Now the conservative majority on the city council and the labor unions are at it again. On one side, conservative Costa Mesa Mayor Jim Righeimer. On the other side, the president of the OC Employees Association, Nick Berardino. The two are in a rematch, fighting over another attempt to create a city charter. Mayor Righeimer calls the effort good property management to save Costa Mesa money.
It makes no sense for us to pay prevailing wage to say do a sidewalk or curb and gutter and pay $41 an hour when we can do it for maybe 2/3 of that cost. We can get a lot more streets done, a lot more alleys done, just a lot more work done.
Righeimer says outsourcing jobs will save Costa Mesa about $3 to $5 million a year. Savings, he says, the city will use to try and cover the underfunded pension plan for city employees like cops and firefighters. Righeimer says that pension plan is about $250 million in the red.
The costs of capital improvements is so high in a city because of the different wages that we're required to pay, that if we're a charter city, we don't have to pay that.
Your latest outsourcing plan is for your local jail. How's that going?
Well, you know, it's going well. We had a change in the council this last year, and sure enough, you know, it still ended up being a 4-1 vote to go ahead and outsource the jail. Our jail, we save, you know, almost 50% of the cost of running our jail. Cities throughout California use outsourcing for jails. Beverly Hills does, Irvine does, and we save about $600,000 a year to outsource it.
The union boss says this issue is not about money, it's about politics. Nick Berardino says in the final analysis, outsourcing is not going to save Costa Mesa money.
That's a claim that's been made by hundreds of thousands of politicians throughout the United States, and you know, there have been cases where outsourcing has saved money, but it's usually not the case. I mean, we see it here just in the county where there's, you know, tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars in waste just in the IT project. And that's just one program here in the county, and there's many more. So there are cases where it does save money. Generally, that's not what happens.
Berardino says Righeimer is employing scare tactics, claiming that the pensions of his city employees are killing Costa Mesa, and therefore outsourcing is a necessary tool.
It's a political issue. I mean, it's now much more political than substantive. Certainly, the pensions required to have some modifications and reforms, and those have taken place. And now, you know, we have a very broad pension reform program that's in place statewide.
It's really tough for a city to make any kind of decision to fix this problem because the unions are always at their doorstep putting pressure on them.
No, good point. And it was exactly that, and for exactly that reason, that now the age of retirement has been increased for everybody, public safety as well as general employees. The fact that there's cost sharing on, you know, paying for the pensions has, you know, been put in place. Employees paying 100% of the employee share has been put in place. So the need to change things was recognized.
Enough's enough. We've got to get our books in order. We cannot be continuing to pass on hundreds of millions of dollars of debt to our kids and then not take care of our city.
Now, 60% of the voters in Costa Mesa rejected the original city charter plan. Okay, so where are things now? Well, Mayor Righeimer says residents are more informed about the situation and do have a better understanding as to why outsourcing and having a city charter are important. Costa Mesa officials have also formed a community committee to write the new charter that will eventually be placed on the ballot once again, and the city this time around will not be involved in that particular committee. Of course, Ed and Maria, Berardino says his OC Employees Association is going to fight this all the way.
Okay, thanks, David.